Your mindset is the single most powerful tool you possess, and yet it is often the one thing we take for granted. To own your mindset is to claim the ultimate control over your life, to recognize that your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes are not mere byproducts of circumstance, but the very architects of your reality. Too often, we allow external factors to dictate our mental landscape. We let other people's opinions, societal pressures, past failures, and unforeseen challenges shape the way we think and feel. But today, I urge you to step into a different paradigm, a paradigm in which you consciously choose the way you perceive and engage with the world. To own your mindset means understanding that life does not happen to you. It happens through you. Every thought you entertain, every belief you nurture, and every perspective you adopt is a brushstroke on the canvas of your existence. You have the power to create a masterpiece if you take command of your mind. Owning your mindset begins with awareness. It begins with the courage to look inward and recognize the patterns that have unconsciously governed your life. What are the recurring thoughts that dominate your day? Are they thoughts of limitation, self-doubt, and fear? Or are they thoughts of possibility, courage, and resilience? Awareness is not judgment, it is observation. It is the act of turning the spotlight on your own consciousness and seeing clearly how your mind works. Only when you see the mental habits you have cultivated can you decide which to nurture and which to discard. Think of your mind as a garden. Some seeds produce flowers of inspiration, creativity, and joy, while others grow weeds of negativity, resentment, and worry. The first step in owning your mindset is tending that garden with deliberate care, choosing which seeds to plant, which weeds to pull, and which nourishing practices to cultivate daily. Once you are aware of your current mental patterns, the next step is to take full responsibility for them. To own your mindset is to stop blaming circumstances, other people, or fate for your mental state. It is easy to point fingers, to say, "I couldn't succeed because of the situation I was in," or "I wasn't happy because others treated me poorly." These statements may hold elements of truth, but they ultimately surrender your power to external forces. True ownership requires accepting that, regardless of circumstances, you have the capacity to choose your response. Viktor Frankl, a man who endured unimaginable suffering in concentration camps, famously wrote that everything can be taken from a person except the ability to choose their attitude in any given set of circumstances. When you understand that your mind is yours to command, you stop giving away your power and start actively shaping your life. Responsibility is liberating, not constraining. Owning your mindset also demands that you cultivate resilience. Life will inevitably challenge you, and obstacles will appear when least expected. The storms of failure, rejection, disappointment, and uncertainty will test your mental strength. But if your mindset is grounded in ownership and intentionality, you will not crumble under pressure. You will view adversity not as an insurmountable wall, but as a teacher, as an opportunity for growth. Consider Thomas Edison, who faced countless failures on the road to inventing the light bulb. Each attempt that did not succeed was not a defeat, but a lesson, a data point in the process of eventual success. He famously reframed failure as discovering 10,000 ways that won't work, demonstrating the profound impact that mindset has on perseverance and innovation. When you own your mindset, you learn to see setbacks as temporary and surmountable, not as reflections of your worth or ability. A key aspect of owning your mindset is the deliberate choice of positivity and optimism, even in the face of adversity. This does not mean ignoring difficulties or pretending that life is perfect. It means recognizing that the mind responds to the narratives it is fed, and that choosing empowering narratives will produce empowering results. Consider the difference between two individuals faced with the same challenge. One views it as a catastrophe, a reason to give up, while the other sees it as a puzzle to solve, a chance to learn, and an opportunity to grow stronger. The difference lies entirely in mindset. Optimism is not naive, it is strategic. It is the conscious decision to focus on solutions, opportunities, and lessons rather than dwelling endlessly on problems, setbacks, and limitations. Owning your mindset also involves the deliberate practice of self-talk. Every thought you have about yourself, whether spoken aloud or silently, shapes your behavior and outcomes. If you constantly tell yourself that you are incapable, unworthy, or doomed to fail, your mind will seek evidence to validate those beliefs. Conversely, if you affirm your capabilities, remind yourself of your strengths, and speak with compassion and encouragement toward yourself, your mind will rise to meet the challenge. The words you use in your inner dialogue are not trivial. They are building blocks of reality. Treat them with the seriousness they deserve. Practice affirmations, visualization, and reflection as tools to strengthen the mental architecture that supports your highest potential. Another essential component of owning your mindset is embracing curiosity and a growth-oriented approach to life. Fixed mindsets, which believe that intelligence, talent, and abilities are static, limit potential and stifle growth. Growth mindsets, on the other hand, embrace learning, experimentation, and continuous improvement. To own your mindset is to commit to seeing every experience, every interaction, and every challenge as an opportunity to grow. It means asking questions instead of assuming you already know the answer, seeking feedback instead of avoiding it, and celebrating progress rather than only results. This approach transforms life into a journey of discovery where the focus is on becoming better, wiser, and more capable each day. The environment you immerse yourself in also plays a crucial role in shaping your mindset. While ultimate ownership comes from within, the people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, and the habits you cultivate can either reinforce a positive, empowered mindset or erode it over time. Seek environments that challenge you, inspire you, and elevate your thinking. Limit exposure to negativity, cynicism, and toxic influences. Surround yourself with individuals who exemplify resilience, creativity, and purpose. By curating your environment intentionally, you provide fertile soil in which your mindset can thrive and grow without unnecessary resistance. Owning your mindset also requires patience and consistency. The mind is not transformed overnight. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, cultivating a mindset of ownership, positivity, and resilience requires daily care, practice, and attention. You will encounter days when doubt creeps in, when old patterns resurface, and when fear tempts you to retreat. On those days, remember that ownership is a practice, not a destination. The small, consistent choices you make to think, act, and perceive differently compound over time, creating a profound shift in the way you experience life. In addition, owning your mindset demands that you embrace accountability. This includes holding yourself accountable for your decisions, actions, and outcomes. It also means being honest about your limitations, acknowledging mistakes, and committing to learning from them. Accountability is a cornerstone of personal power because it reinforces the principle that you are the primary author of your story. By accepting this responsibility, you empower yourself to make corrections, pivot when necessary, and move forward with confidence and clarity. Finally, to fully own your mindset is to recognize the connection between mental discipline and emotional mastery. The mind and heart are intimately connected. The beliefs you hold influence the emotions you experience, and the emotions you nurture can reinforce or weaken those beliefs. By cultivating emotional awareness, regulating negative impulses, and intentionally choosing constructive emotional responses, you reinforce the strength of your mindset. This is not about suppressing emotions, but about channeling them in ways that serve your growth, your purpose, and your vision for life. Owning your mindset transforms every aspect of life. It impacts your relationships, your career, your health, and your sense of fulfillment. When you approach life with clarity, resilience, positivity, and accountability, opportunities that once seemed impossible begin to appear within reach. Doors open, connections deepen, and challenges become pathways to personal mastery. Each day, each decision, and each thought becomes a reflection of the power you hold within. So, as you step into this day, this week, and this life, remember that the greatest gift you can give yourself is the conscious choice to own your mindset. Refuse to let circumstances, other people, or past experiences dictate your reality. Take charge of your thoughts, nurture positivity, embrace growth, and respond to challenges with courage and resilience. Understand that your mindset is not a passive reflection of the world. It is the force that shapes your world. Every moment you spend cultivating it is an investment in a life of purpose, achievement, and profound fulfillment. Today, claim your power. Choose your thoughts. Decide how you will perceive, respond, and grow. Own your mindset completely, without compromise, without hesitation, without apology. When you do, you will not merely face life. You will create a life that is extraordinary, memorable, and truly your own. Let this be the day you realize that the most important thing you will ever master is the power of your own mind, and in that mastery lies the key to every dream, every goal, and every possibility you have ever imagined. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Every great accomplishment, every transformative moment, and every life-changing experience begins with a single decision to act. To take bold action is to move beyond the comfort of planning, wishing, and hoping, and to step decisively into the realm of doing. It is not enough to imagine a better life, to visualize success, or to craft elaborate strategies. Ideas remain intangible, intentions remain dormant, and potential remains unrealized unless you summon the courage to act. Bold action is the lifeblood of progress, the engine that propels aspirations into achievement, and the distinguishing factor between those who talk about their dreams and those who live them. To take bold action requires the willingness to confront fear. Fear is the mind's natural response to uncertainty, risk, and the unknown. But it is not a signal to stop. It is a signal to proceed with clarity and purpose. Every meaningful endeavor carries some level of risk, and every step toward greatness will inevitably encounter obstacles. The difference between those who succeed and those who falter lies not in the absence of fear, but in the ability to move forward despite it. Imagine a tightrope walker standing high above the ground, knowing that a misstep could be catastrophic. The fear is real, yet they step forward because mastery, achievement, and purpose demand it. Bold action requires the same mindset, acknowledging fear, but refusing to be paralyzed by it. Bold action is fueled by clarity of purpose. It is not action for the sake of action, nor is it reckless impulse. True boldness arises when your actions are aligned with a clear vision of what you want to create, achieve, or contribute. Purpose provides direction, focus, and resilience, transforming effort into meaningful progress. Consider the entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, and leaders who have left an indelible mark on the world. They did not stumble into greatness randomly. They acted with intention, driven by a purpose so compelling that it propelled them through uncertainty, resistance, and doubt. To take bold action, you must first define what matters most to you, and then commit to pursuing it relentlessly. Procrastination is the greatest enemy of bold action. Too often, we delay action under the guise of preparation, waiting for the perfect moment, the right conditions, or the ideal circumstances. The truth is that such a moment rarely exists. Waiting for certainty is an illusion, and hesitation is a thief of opportunity. Every moment spent deliberating without acting is a moment lost in which progress could have been made. Bold action requires embracing imperfection, moving forward despite incomplete knowledge, and learning from experience as you go. The act of starting, of taking the first step, often provides the momentum needed to continue and the clarity needed to navigate obstacles. Bold action also demands courage to embrace failure as part of the journey. Action by its nature involves risk, and risk sometimes leads to setbacks. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is an integral part of it. Every misstep provides lessons, insights, and opportunities to adjust your course. Thomas Edison's relentless experimentation, J.K. Rowling's repeated rejections before the publication of Harry Potter, and countless other stories of perseverance illustrate that bold action, without fear of failure, is the gateway to achievement. When you act boldly, you understand that mistakes are not proof of inadequacy, but evidence of effort, growth, and resilience. Each attempt, regardless of the outcome, brings you closer to mastery and accomplishment. Taking bold action also requires decisiveness. Indecision is a form of inaction, and it erodes confidence over time. The ability to make choices swiftly, with the best information available, and commit to them fully, separates those who achieve from those who remain stagnant. Life does not wait for perfect clarity, and opportunities often pass in moments of hesitation. By cultivating decisiveness, you empower yourself to seize the initiatives, pivot when necessary, and move forward without being trapped in endless contemplation. Bold action is rooted in the understanding that momentum, once generated, is a powerful ally in overcoming obstacles and achieving results. Another critical aspect of bold action is persistence. Action without consistency yields limited results. True boldness requires not just starting but sustaining effort over time, weathering challenges, and maintaining focus on the goal despite distractions and setbacks. Many people begin with enthusiasm but falter when results are not immediate. Persistence transforms initial steps into significant progress, and consistent effort compounds into extraordinary outcomes. Bold action is a marathon, not a sprint, and understanding this allows you to navigate difficulties without losing sight of your ultimate objective. Bold action also involves embracing creativity and innovation. Taking risks often requires thinking differently, stepping outside conventional boundaries, and challenging established norms. Innovation does not emerge from comfort zones. It emerges from the willingness to experiment, to try unconventional approaches, and to pursue solutions that others may not have imagined. By acting boldly, you create the space to innovate, to discover new paths, and to achieve outcomes that might have seemed impossible before. The willingness to act decisively and creatively separates leaders from followers, visionaries from spectators, and achievers from dreamers. Action is amplified when paired with accountability. To take bold action is to commit publicly, to set deadlines, and to hold yourself responsible for following through. Accountability ensures that intentions are translated into concrete steps and that momentum is maintained. It transforms abstract goals into tangible outcomes and reinforces the discipline necessary to persevere in the face of difficulty. When you take bold action with accountability, you build integrity, trust in yourself, and the confidence to tackle even greater challenges. Equally important is the courage to stand alone when necessary. Bold action often defies conventional wisdom, challenges the status quo, and confronts societal expectations. Taking the path less traveled may invite criticism, doubt, or opposition, but it is precisely this courage to stand firm in your convictions that leads to transformative results. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced moments of solitude where the choice to act boldly required going against the grain. Yet, it is in these moments that character, determination, and vision are forged. Bold action demands that you trust your judgment, honor your purpose, and act with unwavering commitment, regardless of external pressures. Taking bold action is also about leveraging opportunities. The world presents chances, connections, and moments that, if seized, can accelerate progress exponentially. Recognizing these opportunities requires awareness, preparation, and the willingness to act decisively when they arise. Opportunity favors those who are ready and willing to move quickly, who do not hesitate or second guess their potential. Bold action is about recognizing the moment, summoning the courage to step forward, and making the most of the chance before it slips away. Finally, taking bold action transforms your life, not just externally, but internally. Every courageous step, every decisive choice, and every risk undertaken reinforces your self-belief, expands your confidence, and strengthens your resilience. Action begets action. Momentum builds. Fear diminishes. The habit of boldness creates a ripple effect, impacting every area of your life. The more you act boldly, the more you internalize the truth that you are capable, resourceful, and unstoppable. You begin to see challenges as opportunities, obstacles as lessons, and every day as a chance to advance toward your highest potential. So, as you face this Monday and the days ahead, remember that bold action is not optional. It is essential. To dream without acting is to remain trapped in possibility, but to act boldly transforms dreams into reality. Step forward even when the path is uncertain. Commit fully even when fear whispers doubts. Persist relentlessly even when progress is slow. Innovate fearlessly even when tradition resists. Stand courageously even when opposition arises. Each action you take is a declaration to the world and to yourself that you are ready to live a life of purpose, achievement, and impact. Today is the day to move. Today is the day to act. Let this Monday be the starting point of decisive, bold, and fearless action that changes the course of your life. Understand that every small step, every courageous decision, and every risk embraced compounds into a future filled with possibilities beyond your imagination. The power to transform your life is in your hands, and the choice to act boldly is the key to unlocking it. Step forward, claim your courage, and let the world witness the impact of a life lived in fearless motion. True greatness is not measured solely by what you achieve for yourself, but by the impact you have on the lives of others. To inspire and uplift others is to extend the power of your own growth, action, and mindset into the world around you. It is to recognize that the energy you bring into every interaction has the potential to ignite change, create hope, and shape destinies, not just your own, but those of everyone you encounter. While ambition and personal achievement are important, the ability to lift others transforms ordinary success into extraordinary significance. Life gains meaning when your actions resonate beyond the self, when your presence becomes a catalyst for others to realize their potential, and when your energy leaves a lasting mark on those you touch. Inspiring others begins with authenticity. You cannot genuinely uplift someone unless you are grounded in truth and sincerity. People can sense when words and actions are hollow, when encouragement is empty, or when guidance is delivered without understanding. True inspiration is rooted in honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to share both your successes and your struggles. By showing others that you have faced challenges, made mistakes, and grown stronger through them, you create a bridge of relatability. You demonstrate that the journey toward greatness is not linear, that setbacks are part of life, and that perseverance is possible for anyone willing to take the first step. Authenticity breeds trust, and trust is the foundation upon which influence and inspiration are built. Uplifting others also requires active listening and empathy. To inspire someone, you must first understand them, their fears, their hopes, their obstacles, and their dreams. Empathy allows you to connect deeply, to recognize what someone truly needs, and to offer guidance, encouragement, or support that resonates on a meaningful level. It is not enough to offer generic advice or platitudes. You must engage with the unique humanity of those around you. By listening, you validate their experiences, honor their feelings, and create a safe space in which they feel empowered to grow. Inspiration without understanding is hollow, but when paired with empathy, it becomes transformational. Leading by example is one of the most powerful ways to uplift others. Your actions speak far louder than your words. When people see you approaching challenges with resilience, pursuing goals with determination, and maintaining integrity in the face of adversity, they are inspired to emulate those behaviors. Every choice you make, every act of courage, and every demonstration of compassion becomes a living lesson for those who observe you. To inspire is to illuminate the path with your own footsteps, showing others that success, character, and impact are attainable through effort, intention, and perseverance. Encouragement is a vital tool for uplifting others. Many people possess immense potential that remains dormant because they lack belief in themselves. A word of affirmation, a gesture of support, or a simple acknowledgement of effort can awaken confidence, spark motivation, and catalyze action. You may never fully realize the extent of the influence your encouragement can have, but every positive interaction plants a seed of possibility in someone else's mind. By choosing to uplift rather than criticize, to support rather than undermine, you create a ripple effect of positivity that extends far beyond your immediate reach. To inspire others, you must also embrace generosity, not only with material resources, but with time, attention, knowledge, and energy. Sharing your experiences, teaching what you have learned, and investing in the growth of others multiplies your impact exponentially. True leaders and visionaries understand that the measure of success is not what they accumulate, but what they contribute to the lives of others. Generosity creates connection, fosters trust, and demonstrates that greatness is not a solitary pursuit, but a collective endeavor. When you lift someone else, you elevate the world around you, and in doing so, you elevate yourself. Boldness in inspiring others is also essential. Sometimes uplifting someone requires challenging them to rise above complacency, to confront limiting beliefs, and to step into discomfort for the sake of growth. True inspiration is not always comforting. It often pushes people to stretch beyond what they believe is possible. The most transformative guidance may come wrapped in tough love, honest feedback, or challenging questions that provoke introspection. To inspire is to awaken potential, even when it requires shaking someone out of their comfort zone, because lasting growth comes through action, effort, and courage. Gratitude and acknowledgement are equally important in uplifting others. Recognizing the contributions, efforts, and achievements of those around you fosters a culture of appreciation, motivation, and belonging. People thrive when they feel seen, valued, and respected. Small gestures of acknowledgement, a thank you note, public recognition, or sincere praise, can have profound effects on morale, confidence, and self-worth. When you prioritize recognizing the positive qualities in others, you reinforce their belief in themselves and empower them to continue striving for excellence. Uplifting others also requires patience. Transformation does not happen overnight. The impact of your words, actions, and guidance may take time to manifest. People grow at their own pace, face their own challenges, and experience their own journeys. True inspiration is not transactional. It is a commitment to supporting, encouraging, and believing in someone over the long term. Patience allows you to remain steadfast, to provide consistent support, and to celebrate incremental progress as much as grand achievements. Collaboration amplifies the power to inspire. By working alongside others, sharing visions, and uniting efforts toward a common goal, you demonstrate the strength of collective action. Inspiring a team, a community, or even a single individual is magnified when shared in an environment of mutual support and shared purpose. Each person you uplift becomes part of a larger movement, creating momentum that can transform entire groups, organizations, and communities. The energy of inspiration grows exponentially when shared. The practice of storytelling is another powerful way to uplift others. Stories carry lessons, wisdom, and emotional resonance that transcend abstract advice. By sharing your journey, your struggles, and the lessons you have learned, you provide a roadmap for others navigating similar paths. Stories connect, educate, and inspire action. They allow people to envision what is possible, to relate to your experiences, and to extract insights that guide their own decisions. Through storytelling, you transform personal experience into collective wisdom, leaving a legacy that extends far beyond the present moment. Inspiring and uplifting others also strengthens your own character and mindset. The act of lifting someone else cultivates empathy, patience, humility, and gratitude within yourself. It reminds you that life is not only about personal gain, but about shared progress and collective well-being. When you dedicate yourself to empowering others, you reinforce the principles of resilience, positivity, and action within your own life. In this way, inspiration is not a one-way flow, it is a dynamic exchange that enriches both the giver and the receiver. Every opportunity to inspire carries immense responsibility. Your words, actions, and attitude can influence people in profound ways. A single conversation, a kind gesture, or an encouraging word can shift the trajectory of someone's life. Understanding this power compels you to act with intention, integrity, and compassion. To inspire is to honor the potential in others, to believe in their ability to overcome challenges, and to provide the spark that motivates them to step forward boldly, act decisively, and cultivate their own greatness. Finally, to uplift others is to create a legacy that transcends time. Achievements fade, possessions are temporary, and personal milestones eventually become memories. But the lives you touch, the inspiration you ignite, and the support you provide endure far longer than any material success. Every person you empower, every individual you encourage, and every soul you lift contributes to a chain reaction of impact that continues long after you are gone. This is the true measure of a meaningful life, the ability to leave the world better, brighter, and more hopeful than you found it. So, as you step into this Monday and beyond, commit to inspiring and uplifting those around you. Approach every interaction with authenticity, empathy, and generosity. Lead by example, offer encouragement, and challenge others to rise to their potential. Recognize achievements, celebrate progress, and share your wisdom freely. Understand that every act of inspiration has the power to transform, and every effort to uplift strengthens not only those you touch but also yourself. Let this Monday mark the beginning of a ripple effect of positivity, courage, and empowerment that lives far beyond what you can see. Your energy, your influence, and your dedication to uplifting others can create a world where hope, possibility, and greatness are within reach for everyone. Step forward with intention, act with purpose, and let the power of inspiration guide every action you take. Today, commit not only to your growth, but to the growth of everyone around you, and watch as the world transforms in ways that are extraordinary, unforgettable, and lasting.